So, here's some footage of a gig I played last weekend.
Verse 1, 2, 3.
And as you can probably tell, that was not camera audio. I mean, heck, you can even hear the click track. That was actually a recording of my in-ear monitor mix. And for a while, I've been looking for a way to quickly and easily record my in-ear mix or my bass or what have you. The reason being, in this day and age, it's important as a bass player to be able to have content, promotional material. Also, just in terms of personal growth, being able to watch your performances back and have clear audio gives you an idea of what to work on. I listen to that, I'm like, oh, I could clean up that little fill or that slap lick or whatever. So today, I thought I'd share some of the quickest and easiest ways that you can record your bass at a gig. Now, preface first of all, I really want to emphasize quick and easy, because at the end of the day, if you're a bass player at a gig, your first job is to, play the bass. Surprise, surprise. You have to serve the song. You have to sound good, you have to entertain the crowd. Bottom of your priority list should be, oh, I have to record myself. And if you're setting up an entire recording studio's worth of gear every time you play a gig just to get a recording of your bass, you're really missing the point and you're probably annoying a lot of the people around you. So yeah, we're going to focus on quick and easy solutions, stuff that you can set up in a couple minutes. So the first and easiest way is just to record your in-ear monitor mix. A lot of us are running in-ear monitor mixes these days. So that's usually a pretty good place to start. You're going to get a good balance of your bass signal and all the instruments around you. I mean, at the very least, you should be getting what you thought was a good mix on stage. So to do that, you'll need the following. So you'll need some sort of device to record onto. I'm using my old iPhone SE here because it has an 1/8" jack in. You're going to need a TRRS to TRRS cable. I'll explain what the hell that means in a minute. And you're going to need your in-ear monitor transmitter, and most importantly, you're going to need something that has multiple outputs on it. Here I have a effects loop and headphone outs. And last but not least, you're going to need something to connect all those. In this case, I have this 1/8" to 1/4" cable. So my thought process here is using a TRRS cable. And if you're not sure what that is, let me just explain quickly. So this is a regular TRRS 1/8" cable, if you could see that, if it focuses. Otherwise, a lot of people just call this an aux cable or an MP3 cable, but it's called TRRS because it has a tip, a ring, and a sleeve, which means it carries 3 audio signals. It carries, first of all, a ground to stop buzzing, second of all, a left headphone and a right headphone. Now, of course, that's not rocket science. A lot of you probably know that already. But if you've ever had those wired headphones that come with a microphone on them, let's see if I have one around here. Yeah, this cable here I got for a set of Behringer headphones that I have knocking around, and yeah, it's kind of a mess here, but you can see a really long cable here. It's got this thing here, for recording volume, and importantly, on one end that plugs into your headphones, it has a microphone on it, and on the other hand, we have our TRRS, tip ring sleeve. Now what a tip ring sleeve carries is 4 signals. It still carries the ground left and right, but it has a 4th signal that's the microphone going the opposite direction. Instead of sending from your device to your headphones, it's sending from your microphone into your device. But recently I got this lavalier mic that I've been using in a lot of my videos, and it's TRRS on one end, but it comes with this nice little adapter that's a TRRS in on one end and a TRRS on the other. So what this does is anything you plug into this cable, if you plug that into your device will recognize, as long as it's a device that accepts a wired input. I'm pretty sure dongles work too, if you have the lightning to dongle or lightning to USB to... Wait, there's so many different audio jacks these days. If you have a audio to lightning or audio to USB-C, I'm pretty sure those work too. But as soon as those detect that there's 4 signals, it automatically knows, okay, one of those is a microphone. We're going to take that as an input. So this is where this comes in. This is a really my old iPhone SE. I don't use it as a phone anymore. It just isn't reliable enough for that. But I still keep it around. I play music and podcasts off of it. I'm going to keep it around for stuff like this. So what I do to set this up, if you see here, I got my voice memos app. And I go to start a new recording. So you can see there, it's picking up the audio in my room. If I snap my fingers, it hears it. But check out what happens when I plug in this TRRS cable. As soon as that's in there, you can see now it's recording audio, but if I hold this microphone up here when I tap it, yeah, it's definitely getting audio through this and not just like through the speaker in the room. Like if I touch this, there's nothing. You know what's cool about that, instead of just using it for like a microphone or a lavalier or something like that, you can actually just send raw audio signals direct from anything you want. Let's go set this up with my in-ear monitor mixer. Okay, so here we are set up. I got my in-ear monitor mixer here, or in-ear monitor transmitter. On the back you can see I've just have the power in. I just plug my bass just straight in just to see if this works. And I have my wireless pack over here so I can hear myself. And you know when I'm playing. Sounds great. You guys can't hear anything. So let's change that. So again, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start with this cable here. This is a 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch cable. Just going to plug that into the headphone jack here. Then take my phone here, plug that in. So I see if I just plug the cable straight in, it's still recording my voice, it's not recording my bass. So I'm going to plug in the this TRRS adapter. Now, I might have to try this a few times for it to kick in. So it might take a second for the phone to recognize, but now you see here I'm talking. It's not picking up any audio signal, which means it must be picking up this signal. And lo and behold, look at that. When I play bass, it picks it up. When I'm talking, nothing. So with that, I can record my bass signal. Of course, you know, this is my in-ear monitor receiver. Like if I was playing a gig, the whole band would be in there, whatever I've mixed, but this is just kind of an easy example to show you. So let's say you're not running an in-ear monitor mix live, or maybe you have something that doesn't have multiple outputs on. You can't get a signal out of it. No worries. Another thing you could do is just record your bass signal out of your rig somewhere. Chances are, you know, if you have like a camera or something set up in the room or somebody's phone, it's getting pretty decent just camera audio of the room.
Are you guys ready? Come on, sing with us!
And it's probably just your bass that you want to bring up a bit or have a little bit more definition, a little bit more clarity on. So luckily as bass players, a lot of our gear is just like dripping with outputs. But one thing you gotta bear in mind are not all outputs are created equal. So for example, you know, I got this VT bass DI here, classic pedal, you know, based on the Sans amp, everyone's got a Sans amp. Here it has two outputs, an XLR and a 1/4 inch, and also a parallel output on this side. Now, one thing to watch out for, parallel output means that it's not picking up any of the effect of this pedal. You're just going to get a dry line. So that might not be the kind of signal you want to record. You might want to record, let's say, your 1/4 inch out and send a feed to front of house through the XLR. Also, if I grab my pedal board here, a couple of these pedals have multiple outputs, like this Boss Bass Course has two outputs on the side here. So one problem with the two outputs on this one is that a lot of pedals are designed to send a wet-dry mix, which once again might not be ideal for you. If I was to record audio straight from my pedal board though, I would probably use this, on my dark glass here, I have an 1/4 inch, an XLR, and a headphone out here. I'd probably use the headphone out because it's already 3.5mm, makes my life really easy. And also the 1/4 inch out doesn't send cab sim, which is a really important part of my sound. And you know, I'm probably going to send that to my amp anyways. Now this time I'm going to try the same thing, but recording direct from my pedal board. So, same procedure, I'm going to record into this, so I'm going to take my headphone out of the dark glass, attach the adapter, and into the iPhone. And once again, it might take a second for it to recognize that I have audio plugged into it and not a phone. Does that recognize? Ah, there we go. So once again, it's not picking up my voice at all, but think that's very, very loud. So there you go. That's my methods for recording bass on a gig, either through your in-ear monitor mix if you have a couple outputs there, straight from your pedal board if you have a couple outputs there. There's a third method. You could record direct from the mixing console. I decided not to talk about that here because that kind of gets into that territory of like maybe more complicated than it's worth. By that I mean you either have to A, own your console, or B, if it's the venue's console, you have to negotiate with the sound guy and, you know, get them a USB stick or some other way of recording. Also, every mixer is different, so what I'm trying to say is if you have your own mixer, you probably know how to record direct out from it anyways.
Are you guys ready? Come on, sing with us. Do you
And if the sound guy's going to get you a mix, I mean, leave it up to them to, because I mean, it's their console. They should know what they're doing. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. Are you going to try these methods out in your next gig? Have you tried something like this before? Do you have other methods of recording your bass on gigs that I'm not aware of? Anyways, thanks for watching and stay tuned for future bass videos.
Let's get